Today is all about efficiency. We're going live. We'll do it live. Okay.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
It's hump day. And you know what that means. We go live on hump days, boys. You know what I'm talking about. In fact, Nathan says here, because I said smash that like button, he says smash it like you do your girl in a $7 sundress. That's right. That's what we do on hump days. Oh, God bless those sundresses. You know what I'm talking about, guys. All right. I have great news, guys. I just finished my NLP practitioner and NLP Master practitioner certification. Check this out. I brought this back.
Who's the master?
Yeah. That's right. Not only am I a certified master life coach, I am also a certified master NLP practitioner now.
Who's the master?
Yeah. The big difference with this one though is I kind of feel like a kid who just graduated college but doesn't know anything. I still have a lot of study to do before I'll be comfortable putting it in practice with my coaching program, but at least it's a good start. And I know it will be a valuable tool in my toolbox for helping guys out. But that's not what we're talking about today. We are continuing my series on the science of getting rich, right? If you're not familiar with the series, I'm doing a chapter for each one of these episodes in the series. And we're going through the classic book by Wallace D. Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. He has The Science of Getting Rich, The Science of Being Well, and The Science of Being Great in this trilogy, but we're only going to go through this first one here. And the original book came out in like 1910, 1911. If you do not know, I am not reading this verbatim to you guys. You know, this isn't preschool. So I recommend that you get the book, get it on Audible, and listen along as we're going through this series. I think you're going to get much more out of it. But what I'm basically doing is in each chapter, I'm breaking down the key concepts, and then I'm also sprinkling in, a little Salt Bay action. I'm sprinkling in a little bit of extra information based on my experience and my understanding of these things. So, ends up being a pretty fun episodes. Although these episodes don't do as good of numbers as some of my other episodes, which is interesting because once you master this stuff, once you master law of attraction, like everything else tends to fall into place in your life. It's weird, but people want to start with the dating stuff or the relationship stuff. It's like, start with this stuff. How about you start with this stuff, brother? How about that? But you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So we are now up to chapter 12, which is all about efficient action. And remember, the law of attraction is nothing without action. Before we get into this today, be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. And please sound off in the chat today, guys. Please sound off in the chat. That helps these go by much faster. It makes them more fun for me. Otherwise, I'm just talking to a camera, and that could be boring. That could be boring. And please do support the show by sending super chats. You can send one for as little as $1. All right, guys, let's get into it. So the first concept is utilizing thought. Have you guys noticed a theme yet in this law of attraction stuff? A lot of everything starts up here. Starts up here in your head, the way you think about things, the way you perceive things, right? The chapter emphasizes the importance of using one's thought as directed in previous chapters. So just to review, we have been told to visualize what we want, right? And if you focus your thoughts on what you want and not on what you don't want, right, then the planets will align and you'll be able to materialize riches out of the ether like magic. right? That's what we're learning. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Even Wattles says that what happens is that processes are set in motion when you do this. Men still must do the work at this point, right? We haven't evolved so much that we're just sort of floating on clouds and just making stuff happen with our minds, right? No, we still have to do some work, right? Other people have to do work. They have to help us by doing work. It's a whole thing, right? Gold in the mountains isn't going to mine itself, basically, right? But Paul, I thought all this was woo-woo magic. No, it's not. It's not woo-woo magic. that's why I created my practical law of attraction course, because people think this is all woo-woo magic. And that's one of the reasons why they don't like it. It's one of the reasons why they don't tune into this stuff. They think it's chick crack. Because yeah, the whole idea of woo-woo magic is chick crack. Like, chicks love that stuff. They love the idea of astrology, and that it's all just magic, and it's not, man. It's basically goal setting and having proper mindset and taking efficient action. Right? Speaking of taking action, that's the next concept. It stresses the necessity of beginning to do what one can do where they are and doing all that can be done in their current situation. So Wattles really goes off in this chapter saying that if you're not doing all that you can be doing, you're essentially a burden on society. Right? There's a lot of guys out there lately like that, right? There's a lot of guys out there like that. Since the jab lockdowns and the government incentivizing laziness, we have lots of people who have just left the workforce and are happy to live off the government dole. Brother Mike in the chat here, he and I did a whole episode on these losers that are still living with their parents. They're a burden on their parents. They're happy to do it. They're like, whatever. Like, they have no self-respect. They're a burden. They're not willing to go out there and take any kind of real action to change their lives and become adults, live on their own, that sort of thing. Man, those videos that we did too, like a lot of the clips from those went viral because there's so many lazy people out there that they were getting offended by that sort of thing. And it was like, bro, we're just telling you to grow up. They don't like being told to grow up. You guys that tune into the show, you're better than that, though. We're better than that. If you're watching this show, you're better than that. Or at least I hope you're striving to be better than that, because if you're not, you'll never be rich. Okay? You'll never be rich. Or and I say rich, a lot of that is subjective, right? Right? You'll never make a good enough living that you're going to live comfortably. You're always going to live paycheck to paycheck. You're always going to struggle, right? Because you don't. A lot of guys end up struggling in this world because they work so hard to get out of work than to just do the work. It's kind of funny. I took Cappy's Dad You Never Had course, that he talked about that in there. He's like, people will work twice as hard to get out of work than they would if they would just do the work. So you guys that are watching this, especially this Law of Attraction series, you guys are better than that. You guys are absolutely better than that. And so get back to the you'll never be rich. That's the goal of this book. That's what we're going for, right? It's the science of getting rich. So even with the Law of Attraction, you still have to do the work. Okay? Like I said, it's not magic. Okay, this isn't genies granting wishes up in here. Okay, Waddle says that if there is something that needs to be done today, you need to do it. Okay. Every day is either a successful day or a day of failure, and it is in the successful days that you get what you want. And what he means by that, and we'll get into some of this, but he's basically, if you set out goals to do and you knock those goals out every day, that's a successful day. You did good, right? But if you set goals for yourself and then you don't do any of those goals, and I'm talking about daily goals, like not big overarching goals, right? Like a lot of this stuff is you set a goal and you don't know how you're going to get there. You're going to set a goal of like, I'm going to have $1 million by X date. Right. And, then you take daily actions to get towards that goal, right? Like, oh, I'm going to work on making my course today, right? I'm going to work on writing a chapter in my book today. I'm going to work on creating a podcast today. I'm going to work on making clips of that podcast today, right? Those types of things are daily action. Okay. Very simple tasks, right? But if you're like, hey, I'm going to make $1 million by this date being a professional podcaster, well, then you got to take those daily actions every day. And for me, that's putting out these live streams and cutting them into clips every day, right? Interacting with people on social media. Those are my daily actions. As long as I do those things every day, I'm working towards my goal. It's a successful day. Do you see what I'm saying? All right. Guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm on all the good platforms. Get on the email list, list.comeonmanpod.com. You'll get 20 dating app openers. You get a free chapter of my book. I got all the books here. Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. You also get free stickers. If you don't want the stickers, just put don't want stickers in that address field and I won't send them to you. Speaking of the book, you can get my book at on Amazon and Audible. If you go to books.comeonmanpod.com, that'll take you to my Amazon authors page where you can get all the different versions of it. There's a hardcover. There's 2 different paperbacks, right? One of the paperbacks is a special edition. You can get a Kindle edition and you can get the audio edition through Audible. If you go to books.comeonmanpod.com. And also I have autographed copies still available. So I'll drop a link to that in the chat here. It's also in the description now. If you guys want an autographed copy, it's the same price as Amazon. You just also get an autograph on top of it, right? Oh, and then the hardcovers are cheaper if you order the autographed copies. So check that out. The link's in the chat. It's also in the description for that. And finally, this whole course is on the law of attraction. And my first course I ever made was on the practical law of attraction. Okay. It breaks it down into easy to follow steps that you could start using today to start getting the results you want in life. And it's not magic. Okay. This whole series, you don't have to take the course if you don't want to. You could read this book multiple times. You could come back and watch this series and listen to these lectures. That's fine too. But this breaks it down into a concise, like 4.5 hour course that teaches you all the principles of it, and just step by step, and gets rid of all the nonsense, all the chick crack. Let me play a commercial for that, and then we'll continue our conversation on the book today. Are you struggling to find a good quality woman? They are very rare indeed these days. If you spend any time at all watching content in the men's podcast space, or you spend time on dating apps or going out to clubs, you're seeing low quality, promiscuous women. You're finding women with daddy issues and personality disorders, or a myriad of other red flags, and you are frustrated. I get it, brother, but what if I were to tell you that the reason why you're only seeing these types of women is because of your mindset, because of your paradigm? We get what we focus on in life, and you have trained your mind to focus on the type of women that you don't want. So those are the types of women that keep showing up for you again and again. Let's change that mindset today. If you're a guy looking to attract high-quality, submissive women into your life, then I've got the perfect solution for you. And let me tell you, brother, it's all about mindset. That's right. You've got to reprogram your thinking to focus on the type of women you do want. That's where my Practical Law of Attraction course comes in. It's packed with proven psychology-based techniques that will help you manifest your dream woman. Trust me, you won't find this stuff anywhere else. Explained in such a simple, easy-to-use way. And let me tell you, when you start using these methods, you'll be amazed at how quickly things start changing for you. Picture this. You're out on the town, feeling confident and magnetic. All the women are drawn to you like moth to a flame. And best of all, you're attracting the type of women that are submissive and high quality. It's not that they weren't there before. It's that you weren't aware of them before. My course will teach you how to be more hyper-aware of the kind of women that you actually want. It will teach you to believe that you're the most attractive man around. And when you believe it, you'll carry yourself that way. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for my course today. Visit loa.comeonmanpod.com. That's www.comeonmanpod.com. Start living the life you've always dreamed of. Don't miss out on this opportunity to up your game and find the woman of your dreams. The law of attraction is nothing without action. So what are you waiting for? Act now. Act now, guys. Brother Nathan sent a $2 super chat. He says, let's get that money today. Let's see here. What we got? What we got for that one? Well, you got to be careful of getting that money, Nathan, because
there's an epidemic of gold digging whores in this country.
They're everywhere, right?
Talking about whores, people. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. All right. Just having fun. Thanks for that, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys. The next concept in this chapter 12 of The Science of Getting Rich is personal growth. Personal growth. Okay. The idea that one can only advance by being larger than their present place, implying personal growth and development. You guys might have heard this quote before from William S. Burroughs. I think Tony Robbins says it all the time, but Burroughs said, when you stop growing, you start dying. Have you guys heard that before? When you stop growing, you start dying. It's a pretty common expression. So Wattles likens this concept of personal growth to evolution and says that evolution occurs when an organism has an excess of life, right? An excess of life. When it has more life than can be expressed in the function of its own plane, a new species is originated. Now, you'll never get to the next level of evolution, whether that's monetarily or whatever you want goal-wise. You'll never get to the next level until you grow into someone who would have the things that you want. All right? You want to have a hot, beautiful girlfriend? Maybe you don't want to get rich. Maybe you just want to have a hot, beautiful girlfriend. You know what? It's funny how being rich will help with that. But let's say you want to have a hot, beautiful girlfriend, right? Are you the kind of person that would attract a hot, beautiful girlfriend? Are you? You got that Riz? Have you been working on that Riz? Right? Have you been going to the gym? You want to have millions of dollars? You want to have millions of dollars? Are you smart enough with money and business to earn millions of dollars? And not just earn millions of dollars, but also keep millions of dollars? All right. Have you learned the skills to do that? You got to become the person that would have the things that you want, right? We can have anything we want in this universe as long as we do the work to become the kind of person that would have these things. Okay. It's not woo-woo magic. It's not. The next concept is efficiency. Okay. The importance of efficiency in every action and the notion that every act is either a successful or a failure based on its efficiency. So a lot of this chapter emphasizes efficiency. Taking daily action towards your goals is key to success. All right. If you know you should be doing something, you need to be doing it, right? You need to be doing it. If you can't do it right then, I talked about this, I think, in the last episode, the last law of attraction, or the last Science of Getting Rich episode. But if you can't do something right then, like if you get an idea to do something, because a lot of this, what we're doing is we're conditioning our subconscious mind to grind away at a problem, right? It's grinding away at a problem, and it's going to start giving you ideas on how to solve this problem. Okay. You need to go do this today. You need to take this action. If it's like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning and you get this epiphany that you need to be doing something, you probably can't do it right then, right? Stores are closed, people are asleep, whatever. You can't do it right then, but you get that idea. Well, the action that you need to take right then is to write that down, right? Write it down on a calendar or something so that you remember to do it like first thing in the morning or on your lunch break or whenever you have an opportunity to take action on the idea that you just had. You need to write that down, right? So that by itself is taking an action. Okay. We got to be doing that kind of stuff. Okay. If you don't take that, at least the action to write it down, you're going to probably forget, unless you have a really good memory. I have a terrible memory. I have an absolutely horrible memory. Just ask Nurse Chick. Just awful memory. she's often remembers things for me, and I'm grateful for that. So Wattles says every act in itself is either a success or a failure. Every act is in itself either effective or inefficient. Okay. It's either effective or inefficient. Every inefficient act is a failure. And if you spend your life in doing inefficient acts, your whole life will be a failure. Think about that. If everything you do is just inefficient, you half-ass everything, your whole life, if you do that your whole life, your whole life's going to be a failure. Kind of goes to follow, doesn't it? Guys, check out the Beer Club. If you are not members of Beer Club, you are wrong, okay? Beer Club is a good group of dudes, all right? It's a Telegram community. It's very active. The guys are chatting in there every day. They're swapping notes about things. This morning, one of the guys in there, he just started getting into working out and getting back in shape. And he was talking about how he was using ChatGPT to find dumbbell exercises to do at home and stuff. So then we all started swapping notes in there about different apps you can use, like different free apps you can use to do different types of exercises, right? And track what you're doing. You know what I mean? So we're all in there swapping notes about all sorts of stuff. Okay. Not just the whamming, but whatever. And then we have monthly video calls where we get together and we chat about guy stuff. It's a good outlet for men. And if you sign up for a year, it comes out to only $8 a month. Right. And a lot of guys just don't have an outlet where they can go to and talk to a bunch of like-minded dudes. Right. They might go to church, but you start talking to dudes at church about spinning plates and gaming chicks, and like they'll be like, no, you should be marrying all these hoes, right? Like you can't be doing that, right? So yeah, maybe church isn't a good group, for that. But Beer Club is, okay. It's kind of a judgment-free zone, and we're all there to help each other level up and just, talk about whatever. We have a couple of guys in there that went through some nasty breakups recently. It's a good support system for that. Okay. But definitely check that out. We have a second meetup this month scheduled for the 29th. I'm going to start putting out, ads on social media just to remind people about that here pretty soon. But get in there now. It's if you go to beer.comeonmanpod.com, the link's in the description. You can join that group. It's for men only. Okay. There's no whamming in there, so you don't have to worry about offending anybody. And then if you want to work with me directly, book a free coaching call, guys. If you go to coaching.comeonmanpod.com, put some time on my calendar, and we'll talk about your problems. It's a free 30-minute call. If we determine on the call that it would be better for you to work with me continuously, then we can work it out on the call. Sometimes, 30-minute call is all you need, right? So book a free coaching call at coaching.comeonmanpod.com. Like I mentioned at the beginning, not only am I a certified master life coach now, I just got my master NLP practitioner certification as well. So get in on that, guys. All right, let's continue this. So the next key concept is success and failure, right? Which we mentioned before, right? Every efficient act or every inefficient act is a failure. And if you spend your whole life doing inefficient acts, your whole life will be a failure, right? So let's talk about success and failure. Every day is seen as either a successful day or a day of failure. And the accumulation of successful days leads to achieving one's goals. Okay. Whatever your goals are, right? Now, when you break things down into daily actions, being efficient or inefficient, success or failure, then do you start to see why he calls this an exact science? Okay. It is very binary, right? You either do or you don't. It's like what Yoda says. There's no try. You either do or you don't. Do you get your goals? Do you get your daily goals done for the day? If you did, good. That's a successful day. If you don't, you suck. You're inefficient. You are a failure. You are a failure. You know what's funny about this? So Bob Proctor, I talk about Bob Proctor a lot, especially when I'm doing law of attraction type videos. Bob Proctor was a huge mentor of mine. I never met the man personally, but I've seen like all of his stuff. You know, I've studied him for years. He's basically taught the same stuff every, for like 60 years or something like that. So, one of the things that he talks about as far as doing your daily goals is he says, spend some time at night and write down like 6 goals that you want to accomplish in the next day. Right now, you might have like 1,000 goals that you need to do. Okay. But we only have 24 hours in a day. Okay. So maybe you limit that to 6. I need to get 6 done. If you can knock out all 6 and you have time for, your list of 100 things, then you could continue working on that list. But if you at least put down, hey, these 6 are my priority for the day tomorrow. Okay. And you write those down. The next day, you just systematically go through that list and start knocking them off your list. Okay. Anything of those 6 that you didn't get a chance to accomplish that day, don't beat yourself up over it. Add it to the top of the list for the next day. Okay. That's how you that's how you chunk this down. All right. Because a lot of this stuff might seem daunting. You mean I gotta do daily action every day? Like that sounds a lot like work. Well, yeah, it does. But if you break it down, it doesn't have to be so bad, right? Wattles says, if you do not do any inefficient acts, and if you do a sufficient number of efficient acts, you will become rich. Okay. Or you'll at least get the goal that you want. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be about money. The law of attraction works on everything. Okay. If now it is possible for you to make each act an efficient one, you see again that the getting of riches is reduced to an exact science, like mathematics, is what Waddle says. Vision and purpose. Holding on to one's vision and purpose while performing each act is highlighted as crucial for success. So Waddle says every act can be made strong and efficient by holding your vision when doing it. All right. Think about it like when you go to the gym. Okay. Like we were just talking, we were swapping notes in the in Telegram today in Beer Club about a guy, wanting to work out and stuff like that. Think about when you go to the gym. Maybe you're one of those guys that thinks that working out sucks. Okay. I do. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I love the gym, man. The gym's my peace, bro. Like I'm not that guy. Like I like the results from working out, but going to the gym, I have to mentally talk myself into it because I don't like it. Right. Running. I like running. So I don't mind doing that because that actually is sort of my time to think and listen to, I listen to audiobooks and podcasts and stuff when I'm running. I like doing it. I definitely like the feeling when I'm done with it. But going to the gym, I'm like, oh, this sucks. And when I'm in the middle of working out, like doing, right now I'm going through doing calisthenics. I prefer calisthenics over weight training, but every once in a while I get bored with that too, right? So it's like I like to change things up. Because I made a promise to myself that I work out 5 days a week, no matter what. And I started doing that back in 2016. And I have never stopped. Right. But like I said, I don't like doing it. So it ends up becoming a discipline is greater than motivation type thing. You know what I mean? Like I do it because I have to do it because I made a promise to myself to do it. So I do it. Right. But one of the things that will help with that is holding a vision of the end state. Okay. Holding a vision in your head. If you can hold a vision in your mind about how ripped you're going to look at a few months of consistent effort, you'll be more motivated to keep going, typically, right? When you get up in the morning and you start seeing those results in the mirror, you start doing the mirror test, you start seeing those abs coming out, right? You start seeing your chest taking shape. You start seeing your shoulders getting bigger. When I put out my push-up videos and you see like how, the definition in my shoulders and stuff like that makes me feel pretty goddamn good, right? I know it's working. So if you can hold that vision in your mind when you're doing it, you're going to actually do even better work, right? Because as you're doing it and you're thinking about the end state while you're doing it, all the pain that you're going through right then doesn't hurt as much, right? You're just sitting there going like, God damn, I'm going to be a sexy motherfucker come this summer on the beach, right? When you're, you're doing curls or something like that. Was Mike say, I'm the opposite. I hate running, but pumping iron feels good. It puts me into fuck machine mode. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you know, some guys prefer the gym. They hate running. They don't like cardio. I get it. All right. But you guys, like, you look at this. He's in fuck machine mode, right? So are you visually picturing yourself as you're like benching 350? Because Mike, you know, he's jacked. He could bench 350. You could bench 350, right? Or at least 225. You can bench 225, can't you? I don't know. I think I can imagine him just going, yeah, I'm a fuck machine. Yeah, I'm a fuck machine as he's pushing out the reps. Hell yeah, man. So yeah, if you could visualize it while you're doing the work, it makes you're going to get better results. Okay, is essentially what that comes down to. Power of mind and action. The importance of aligning mental power with personal action to ensure success in every endeavor. A lot of people fail with the law of attraction. They say the law of attraction doesn't work because they separate mental power from personal action. Okay. They put all their action in crystal boxes and meditations and affirmations and don't take any real action towards their goals. The video I wanted to play last Friday, guys, I uploaded it. I got it to work. We're going to watch that now. That's what this guy is doing. Okay. He's putting he's basically mentally masturbating and not doing any real action.
Here's how I'm manifesting the woman of my dreams. I created an energy crystal box that contains all the features I look for in my dream woman. On the inside, I have crushed selenite and blue opals. On the first of every month, I pour water over dry ice to energize all the crystals inside. I keep the crystal box in the corner of my yoga room. On top, I keep a letter written to my dream woman. Behind it, I keep a 639 Hz vibration to maximize manifesting potential. I make sure to keep the crystal box covered with a blackout cloth to protect it from outside energy. As far as my day-to-day routine, there's 3 things I do every single day to manifest her. Every morning, I have a 30-minute meditation session where I get into the present and I visualize my life with this woman. The next thing I do is have conversations with AI's representation of her. I know it's not really her, but it really helps to manifest. Hey, sweetie. How was your day so far?
My day was great. I went to the gym for a fun workout and then headed to the park afterwards. We can grab some lunch later if you're down for it.
The last thing I do is, before I go to bed, I put on an amethyst crystal, and I write a page of affirmations. I put them under my pillow with the rose quartz crystal on top. And that's how I'm manifesting my dream woman. Thank you for watching.
Can you guys hear the sound that time? Last time I played it, the sound didn't work. Let me know. Let me know in the chat if you guys could hear the sound that time. Please, for the love of God, that basically ruined the whole entire show last time. So in this example, maybe we want to manifest our dream girl. Okay. Okay. Nathan says 1 in the chat. So you guys heard it that time. Mike says, gay. Oh, God. Okay, so in this example, maybe we, instead of being rich, we want to manifest our dream girl. Well, we still have to go out and talk to girls, for fuck's sakes, okay? Oh, my God. He's sitting there at home and in front of his desk talking to an imaginary girl on AI. Like, no, bro. How about you know, maybe you do the affirmation thing at night or whatever, and then you go out to a coffee shop and start talking to people. Maybe that's your daily action. I'm going to become a regular at this coffee shop, right? If that's taking action, you're actually going out and then you're talking to people. Those are daily actions to meet new people. How are you supposed to meet a girlfriend, right? A new girl, if you don't go out and fucking talk to people? If you sit at home talking to a fucking robot, you're never going to meet the girl of your dreams. Do you see what I'm saying? You got to take efficient action. All right. That guy is just mentally masturbating. Pisses me off too, because like I am a big law of attraction guy. And then you see shit like that, and that gives us all a bad name, right? It's like, bro, The fucking amethyst crystal around your neck doesn't do shit, okay? Your belief in the crystal is what's doing it. It's not the crystal itself. You understand? It's up here, okay? And then taking daily efficient actions. All right? God damn it, take my practical law of attraction course, okay? It gets rid of all the fucking bullshit. All right. And then also smashing like as alpha. Thank you, Stream Elements. You're such a help today. I appreciate that. Right, Brother Nathan. You can't just sit at home, for the love of God. What was this? Girl of your dreams, nightmares or dreams too. Shout out to Thor. Yes. Oh, guys. Yeah, please. If you haven't done so already, donate to Thor's GoFundMe. I'll drop a link to that in the chat here too. We are over a quarter of the way to our goal with that. So please consider donating. If you haven't donated yet, even $5 helps. Okay. Drop the link to that in the chat as well. All right. So I went off on fucking crystal manifestation, dude. So anyways, if it's okay to have visualizations, it's okay to do your vision board stuff. It's okay to do affirmations and all that kind of stuff. Like that stuff does train your mind. It does engage your reticular activating system. So you start seeing the things that you want. All right. You start seeing the opportunities out there because our brains tend to filter out things that it doesn't think is important. All right. So if we train our mind to say, hey, hot brunettes that look a certain way, that act conservatively, right? That's what I want to focus on. Well, then you're going to start seeing hot brunettes that dress conservatively all over the fucking place. Okay. It's not that they weren't there, is that you didn't train your mind to look for them. All you guys are all looking for chicks with tattoos and red flags and fucking septum piercings and shit. Right. Because you guys spend too much time fucking watching the whatever podcast or Fresh and Fit or something. And it's like, no, like good chicks exist out there. You're just training yourself to only focus on the hose. You know what I mean? So using the vision board and all that kind of stuff does help. Okay. But you still got to go out and talk to the whammon. You got to go out and talk to the whammon if you want to actually meet the whammon. All right. They just don't fucking magically appear in your house. All right. Enough with Crystal Boy. Cumulative results. Successful action is described as cumulative in its results, suggesting that progress builds upon itself. A bunch of little things tends to equal one big thing, right? Ever hear the expression, how you eat an elephant, right? How do you eat an elephant? Have you guys heard of that one? How do you guys eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? One bite at a time. You can't just eat the whole elephant at once. You can only eat it one bite at a time. Thor, shout out to Thor again. Thor taught me that you got to start with the trunk first, right? You got to start with the trunk first when you're eating an elephant. Can anybody tell me why you start with the trunk first? Anybody out there? Mike, do you know why you got to start with the trunk first? I think it's in Thor's first book. I think it's in his first book. I'm just going to wait here until someone says it, or they say, I don't know. Whoever says it first. You guys are holding up this podcast. I'm just waiting for you guys to comment. Come on now. We don't have all day. While I'm waiting here. Because Mike says it's the best part. No. Good guess, though. No, you got to start with the trunk, because if you start with the tail, it's going to taste like shit and you're not going to want to continue eating. You see what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, Mish? What's going on? What does that say? I'm afraid to ask. I'm afraid to ask what that says. It's written in Arabic, so I don't know. So if you're going to eat an elephant, you can only eat it one bite at a time. And Chad was going to say, yeah. So was that because it tastes like shit? Is that what it says in Arabic? Got it. Okay. So yeah, if you try with the tail, it's going to taste like shit. You're not going to want to finish, right? So that's why you got to start with the trunk, but you got to do it one bite at a time. Continuous contemplations, okay? Continuous contemplations of one's vision and goals is encouraged to reinforce them in the mind and stimulate faith and purpose. So you want to spend all of your spare time imagining and visualizing your goal, okay? Like daydreaming. It's okay to daydream, right? It's okay to do that. One might call it obsessive. One might call it obsessive, right? I call it necessary if you want to be successful. All right. Did you know that obsession is the number one habit of highly successful people? Did you know that? The average person is just interested in something, right? I watched this video and I thought it was great. It was with Tim Grover. And he says that the average person is just interested in something, but people that really make it, people that are really successful, they're typically obsessed with something. Okay. Tim Grover said, interested people watch, obsessed people change the world. Wait, he did a talk. He was in front of a bunch of people and they're all, and he said that he's like, if I asked a room full of podcasters, hey, are you guys interested in being a professional podcaster? Are you interested in making this a career? And he said, like, the whole room stood up. Right? Yeah, I'm interested in it. And he goes, how many of you are obsessed with it? Right? And most people sat back down. They weren't obsessed with it. Right? Well, the people that are really successful are obsessed with it. Okay. Tim Grover, if you don't know who he is, he wrote a book called Relentless: From Good to Great to Unstoppable. He trained Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, among others. Jordan and Bryant were said to be rather obsessive, weren't they? They're two of the greatest basketball players ever to play the game, right? Yeah. Tim Grover trained them, and those guys were obsessed. They were absolutely obsessed. What did you say, Chad? Or Mish? Sorry. I was obsessed with seeing how tall my pee-pee would get, so I lost over 250 pounds just to see it again. Yeah. Yeah, and you're looking jacked now, brother. You're looking jacked now. For you guys that don't know, he's not just an avatar. He's actually a real guy. He's a real guy, but we keep his identity secret because he lives in a dangerous part of the world. All right, the last concept here, guys. Yeah, of course. Guys, remember, smashing like is alpha. It's alpha. Okay. Don't be a beta and not hit the like button. Okay. Creative mindset. So this is the last concept in pretty much every chapter. Okay. Transitioning from a competitive to a creative mindset is emphasized for manifesting desired outcomes in life. So he ends the chapter with his common mantra, and he calls it the syllabus, but this mantra in one small edit near the end, right? He says, there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. Man can form things in his thought and be impressed, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. In order to do this, man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. He must form a clear mental picture of the things he wants and do with faith and purpose. All that can be done each day, doing each separate thing in an efficient manner, right? So basically, like we talked about, we have daily goals and daily actions that we take every day. And as long as we complete those goals in an efficient manner, we are going to slowly work our way towards the larger goal. Okay. Yes, sir. The science of getting rich. We're on chapter 12 now. Yeah. So that was chapter 12, guys. All right. Efficient action. We're taking efficient action by doing daily goals. Remember, it's not magic. All right. We've got to take action. The law of attraction is nothing without taking efficient action. All right. That's all we got for this chapter. Tune in Friday The episode is pre-recorded. It's my normal Monday pre-recorded episode. I moved it to Friday because I'm traveling. My guest is Davrick Lyles from Black Ice Reality Check. I will not be on Rule Zero Saturday. I will not be on the Dragon Ship Saturday either because, like I said, I'll be traveling, so I won't have access to my computer to do the streaming. But definitely tune into those. I don't know I don't know who's hosting Rule Zero. Like half the time we don't even know until like the morning of with some of the guys in the group. But Dragon Ship, I don't know who's hosting that either. Thor's sort of out of commission. He might join the Dragon Ship, but I don't think he's ready to host yet. So maybe Mike can step in. Yeah, maybe Mike can step in for the Dragon Ship, but it'll be on all of our channels. We usually broadcast the Dragon Ship to all the different channels, so it doesn't really matter. It's not as hard to keep up with as Rule Zero. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. A little bit of a shorter episode today, but that's okay. Thanks to everybody that sounded off in the live chat. I appreciate you. Thanks to Brother Nathan for the super chat. Guys, it's not too late to send a super chat and support the show, especially if you found value in this. Follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on the email list, guys. I'll send you a bunch of free stuff. Go to list.comeonmanpod.com for that. Get my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. Okay. It's a real book. It's not one of those grifter, 100-page things. It's a real book. And it's a guidebook for life. Okay. It literally is everything I wish I knew when I was 18. You can get that at books.comeonmanpod.com. That will take you to my Amazon page where you can get it in all the formats, including the Audible edition. You can also get a autographed edition with the link I just dropped in the chat. And there's also a link in the description of the video as well for autographed editions. And then finally, check out the Practical Law of Attraction course, guys. All the stuff that in the Science of Getting Rich, I break it down into very simple, easy to follow, practical steps that you can start using today. Okay. And I remove all the chick crack out of it. I explain it from the psychological perspective as opposed to the spiritual or the quantum theory. All right. I get rid of all that stuff and just break it down into simple, easy to follow steps. Right. And essentially what we're doing is we're training our minds. It's a mindset course. So do check that out. Join the beer club. It's only $8 a month if you sign up for a year. And then finally, coaching's available at coaching.comeonmanpod.com. Book a free call with me, guys. It's if you've been wanting to work with me one-on-one, here's an opportunity, and I won't charge you for that first call. So, all right, guys, that's all we have. We will see you guys on Friday for my interview with Black Ice Reality Check.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.